We're back, baby. Kicks Chronicles is back and in full effect. We've been gone for a minute, and I can't lie, I missed you guys. Did anything even slightly newsworthy happen in sneakers while I was away? It's been a quiet one still, apart from StockX no longer authenticating shoes, New Balance basically taking over the game, Panda Dunks as far as the eye can see, Kanye becoming a billionaire and then losing it all over a tweet, to mention but a few. It's clearly been an interesting and eventful 18 plus months. For anyone who's not familiar, and if this is the first time you're here, welcome. Kicks Chronicles is a sneaker lifestyle podcast where we invite a guest and take a nostalgic stroll through their sneaker history and end up with what they currently have on feet. This podcast isn't really about how big your collections are, but how deep your connection is to this amazing sneaker culture. We'll be dropping every Sunday at 6 p.m. UK time on all major platforms. That's YouTube and Spotify for video, Spotify, Apple, and Google, plus everywhere else you get podcasts for audio. And to stay updated, make sure you follow PROZECH on Instagram and TikTok and all other platforms. Please make sure you are supporting the podcast by listening, liking, subscribing, leaving positive comments and reviews. It all really, really helps. Now, I can't lie, we've been cooking for the last few weeks and we have some amazing interviews lined up with some influencers, models, journalists, collectors, resellers, designers, enthusiasts, and even a couple CEOs. This week, I'm speaking with Luke Fischer, aka Might Be Luke. You might know him from being featured on the Sneakers app and Bleacher Report, or from the near 220,000 followers he has on TikTok. The native of Orlando, Florida. Yeah, buddy. Your boy went transatlantic for the comeback still. I thought having somebody from another culture would give a great perspective, and he did not hold back. He told me about the shoe that brought him into the game, as random as it is, his sneaker icks, his weird take on the Jordan 11 IEs, the Kanye drama and where that leaves Adidas in the power rankings in the sneaker industry, and lastly, his strong, and when I say strong, I mean really strong views on what it means to be a sneakerhead. An awesome guest, one I hope to have back one day, and an interview I hope you will find interesting and entertaining. So with all that being said, I'm PROZECH. This is Kicks Chronicles. Your guest is Might Be Luke. Enjoy. Yes, my people. Big PROZECH is here. You already know, man. Kicks Chronicles. I'm here with my boy, Might Be Luke, Luke Fischer, coming straight out of Florida. Is it Stanford, Florida? Am I right?
So yeah, I live like right outside of Orlando. Everyone pretty much knows where Orlando.
Yeah, everyone knows a lot for real.
Yeah,
we know about
Orlando. Yeah,
we like that, man. Big Luke Fischer in the building, man.
What is good?
So happy to have you, my guy.
Yeah,
so
I'm
happy to have
be
you
here. Super stoked.
It's awesome. You know what the people want to know about? Might Be Luke, big on TikTok, big out here, massive following. But how did it all start, my bro? What shoe said to you, bro? You've got to have me. Where did that love for kicks come from?
That's interesting. It was one of those things that just kind of became like from where when I try to think back, I can't really think of like a specific shoe. I can obviously think of like my first, like the first couple that I got that really kind of started the role for me. But I don't really think there was really ever a shoe that it was like this was the shoe. The first shoe, like the first like sneaker I bought, was a KD5 Energy. It's like a paint splatter kind of colorway. I was a big Durant fan. They just stood out to me. So I was like, you know what? I like these. I had a couple pair of Air Maxes, but didn't really know, it was more like, I just like these shoes. I'm going to get these shoes. So that was really the first time that I like bought a shoe and was like, I'm buying these because of the sneaker that it is. Fell in love with them, bought a couple more. Then when the KD6 dropped, I had to have every pair. I regret to this day selling all of them, but I did have
bro.
probably every colorway of KD6 minus a couple, I went hard. I was waiting
I
in
love that.
lines.
I
Like,
love that.
it was just my shoe. I loved it. So like, I guess the KD6, that could be a moment for me where it really became more than like buying shoes. It really became like that collector's thing. And then it just sort of kind of just blew up from there. I started going into like foam posits and Jordans and really just started to expand everything that now got me to where I'm
Yeah,
at.
you,
Yeah.
the little back wall behind you is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Still, we might touch on that a little bit. Some recent and some old school
Try to
heat
keep
there.
it, try
We
to keep
like
it.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, we like that. We like that. We like. I appreciate that. And what you said in regards to KDs. So obviously in the UK, KDs are definitely not as popular as they were in America.
Yeah.
And KDs, and the thing, I'm a basketball fan, so obviously I've followed KD and a lot of sort of the bigger NBA stars, and obviously KD's one of the biggest. And for a minute he had like a very wearable sneaker in a
Yep.
very very wearable
Yeah.
basketball shoe that for a lot of people from a sneaker perspective were able to rock it casually and people were balling in them, so I
Yeah.
respect that. Wasn't big over here, can't lie, you get me, like we're still kind of stuck on Jordans. But I respected KD as a player and I'm
Yeah.
glad to hear it. And the thing is, what's so good about hearing that as a sort of genesis story is that is so rare. We like I know my listeners are not gonna hear somebody regularly say, "Yeah, KD6s got me in the
Yeah. No, I know
game."
it's
So
one of
that's
those
pretty
things.
cool, man.
Yeah.
I love that.
It's one of those things that didn't make sense. The KD6 really had a moment here. Um, like right around that same time, it was like the LeBron, like 8, 9, 10, which was really like the power numbers for the LeBrons.
Mm, mm,
You had
mm,
like the
mm.
Kobe's. It was like 6, 7, 8, if
Ah,
I'm not
bro,
mistaken on the numbers. So that was really like all of Nike's signature basketball shoes were really at their best. The packs were great. They did like the Big Bang pack. They did the Galaxy pack. Like they did a lot of packs, and it was really just at the top. Like the Christmas packs, everything was as good as it could be. That they were doing the What the colorways, which was like the introduction. Not maybe not the
that's
introduction,
massive.
but the first
Yeah,
like big like
that's
idea
massive.
of the What the series. So they just had a moment, and I got caught up in it. I got caught up in it. I had to
Got
have them
caught up,
all.
man.
And then
No,
as
I respect
as
it.
fashion changes, like you said, like it's a little bit harder to style basketball shoes in a casual way. Um, I
Mm,
don't I don't really play basketball that much, not anymore, not as I've gotten older. I much more dress casually, so it is a lot harder for me to wear those more like really
mm.
athletic silhouettes, which is what's kind of helps me transition into like the Jordans, and which yes, they're basketball shoes, but I mean they're at this point they're more of
Yeah,
casual shoes than anything.
one hundred
Um,
percent.
so that's really sort of how like even into New Balance, like just the casual wear, the daily wearability of New Balance is really what drew me to the brand. Um, so yeah, it really is weird to think like how big of a difference is from where it kind of started to where I'm at now with what I wear on a daily basis. But it's one of those things. Like you said, it's cool. It's different. I don't know many people who are like, yeah, the KD6, like you said. So it is
It's
something.
true,
Yeah,
bro.
it's something different for sure.
Especially like over here, you're not hearing anything like that. But I think one a question I want to ask you, because it's obviously representative of the fact that you are in the US, and the sneaker culture over there is so like it's palpable. It's like
Yeah,
everywhere, every city, every town, every village has their own thing that they rock. So I wanted to understand, like growing up in, like, did you grow up in Florida?
yeah.
Right, you grew up in Florida. Like, what was the shoe that you would say in your mind's eye represented your area? Like, if you growing up
Yeah,
or just around the time there was that shoe that was just on everyone's feet in your
that's
area.
tough. I mean, growing up, like I didn't really have Jordans or anything like that. I really didn't
Mm,
even know what they were. Like I didn't know the different numbers. I obviously knew what the shoe Jordan was, as any kid would. He wanted them, but I wasn't getting them. That was just way out of the budget. I had two brothers, so we all got to get footwear too. So um, it was a lot of Jordans. I remember a lot of
mm.
kids wearing like the first shoe that I ever remember like seeing on somebody and was like I want to have those. It was the Citrus 7, so that would have been like 2006. I was in the sixth
Okay.
grade. I'll never forget like the Citrus 7, like French Blue 7s, a lot of like Bread 11s, the like
Massive.
Griffey's and that kind of like trainer sort of had a moment, like the Bo Jackson
Interesting.
and some of the like the random like Nike trainer silhouettes. They sort of had like a little bit of a I mean, obviously like all white Air Force Ones. That's was probably always the big main one, but I'm not gonna sit here and say like
That's a
that's our
massive one.
shoe, you know. But
Yeah,
that's
I
sort
know.
of just
I
the
know.
simple
Yeah.
option, you know, kind of always. But like when I think back to like my middle school and high school years, like what I saw other people wearing, those, yeah, like Griffey's and those like random like kind of bulkier trainers and like whatever the current Jordan was at the time. Um, not so much Jordan ones when I think back to it though. No one was really wearing the ones. There was a lot of like
Ah,
13s and 12s,
come on.
14s, 11s, like the bigger numbers, which is not the common numbers. Um, but yeah, that's those that's what I remember.
Mm,
Orlando really is such a melting pot. It's such a tourist. It's a tourist attraction as much as it is. You know, there's
of
it's such a big.
course.
It's
Of
such a
course.
widespread area. You know, like you have UCF, which is 50 miles over here, and then you have Disney 50 miles over there, and everything in between. It's just such a big area. It really is such a melting pot. Like you go out there and you'll see literally everything. Like everything. You see all the different like fashion. So it is sort of hard to say like what the one is. But there's a couple that come to mind, like when I think like when I was
No,
growing
that's
up, like
cool.
what I saw people wear, which definitely, I mean, as I, you know, when it was making those first sneaker purchases, those were the shoes that I was gravitating towards. That's what I saw people
Yeah.
wearing too. So I had a couple pair like the Nike trainers and those random, you know, kind of like clunkier, bulkier, like casual kind of shoes that Nike was doing at that time. I had a couple pairs of those.
It's all good, bro. Over here in the UK, because I heard you mention it, and it's something that I relate to. Kicks was never a priority in my household.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was not the top of anyone's shopping
No,
list.
yeah.
So because of that, and being from an African household, um, there were certain times I had to wear some dangerous
Oh yeah, no, I used
shoes.
yeah.
So I had to wear some dangerous shoes. Um, and I just wanted to know, I call these the unholy grails, right? But it's not in a disrespectful way because to be fair, right, they held man down for a minute. Like, and to be honest, who's really judging an 11, 12, or 13-year old? Hard to say in 2022, maybe a lot of people, but
Yeah. Yeah.
at that time we were just kids. So at that time I might have worn some real rascal shoes. You
Oh,
get
I
me?
know I
Did you
was
ever have to go did you ever have to go through that? Can you name any? Can you remember the
I could
names?
see it. I can't think of the name. It was like an old like, you know, 2000s like Adidas basketball shoe. It was
Mm,
$40, 40
come
not
on.
probably 49.99, just black. So, you know, solid black. I wore every day with everything. I eventually went into it was the DC Villain, which was a skate shoe. Yeah, it was like a
DC.
slip-on. It
Shout
was like
out
a
to the
slip-on
skate boy.
skate shoe.
Man's a skater boy.
Um,
See you later, boy.
yeah,
And one day
it was just like you know, casual wear. I could just throw them on with whatever.
I get you.
Those were yeah, and then once I got my own job, you know, I bought a couple pair of Air Maxes and like things like that, just some like the cheaper like on sale stuff, just because I wanted to have like a couple pair of sneakers, because a couple of my friends were like really into like Air Max. He had
Mm.
a bunch of pair of like 90s and like 95s and LTD threes and those sorts of things, which kind of like influenced me a little bit more into that side. But yeah, really in high school, I just wore a lot of like slip-ons, dude. Like I was not trying to wear
Like
sneakers.
Vans and that kind of
Yeah, like
stuff.
slip-on Vans, like the DC Villain, which was like a laceless, like slip-on loafer almost. Like
Like
Airwalks. I had a pair of
mm.
Airwalks, like slip-on
Airwalk.
shoes.
Shout out Airwalk. I
Um,
know Airwalk.
so that's like that was yeah, that was really what I was wearing up until like I got my first job and started to, you know, buy my own shoes, and I yeah,
So
the formative days. Yeah,
no, it's like the valley of the shadow of
yeah,
death. It's one of them things that you gotta go
yeah.
through. It's like a rite of
No,
passage for
for
any true
sure.
sneakerhead.
I tell
You
people
get me?
all the
Because
time.
like you look at what's behind you. I'm thankful to God. Look at what's behind you, my guy. You've gone through
Yeah,
it. You're on the other
yeah.
side.
No,
You're
and
winning.
I try to tell people like you can't buy your way into this like world. You can't. You can
Nah.
have all the money in the world. You can have all the off-white shoes and all that, but it doesn't mean a lick of nothing if you didn't wait in lines. I'm not saying you had to wait in lines, especially for the younger kids who don't really
But I'm
have the
saying,
ability. I understand is different,
mm,
but to just say like, oh, I got all the off-white Jordan ones, like, okay, cool. Like do you know, like there's just so much more that goes into it than just what you can physically purchase. I could physically purchase a lot. Doesn't mean I do. You know,
mm,
it just there's so much more that makes someone like a sneakerhead than versus someone who just like has the money for sneakers. And sneakers has become something that's so widely accepted, and it's not such a
mm,
niche thing anymore, which I love. You know, I'm not the type of
mm.
person who says
Yeah, that's cool.
like no, you can't wear these or you shouldn't wear those. But when it comes to like being a real sneakerhead, it's like there's really people who like I used to be at Foot Locker 9 a.m. for a KD6 release. Only person at the gate, just standing right there,
Respect.
yeah. It was one of those
Respect. The
things like that's
highest
just
level.
after a couple of times, she's like, you don't have to come here that early no more. Like, I'll hold. I was like, we're in. Like, we're in. What do you mean? This is what every sneaker person wants. Like, I'm good. I don't have to show up at 10 a.m. anymore. Like, I can just come, at any point in the day. She got me. I'm a 13, so
We
it's
got
hard to
stuck,
find a
bro.
size
We're good.
13. Like
Oh, we're the
I'm
same
good.
size.
Yeah,
That's
it
calm.
was one of those moments I was like, yo, like I'm plugged in with the Foot Locker. It's crazy. And then it was just started working at a couple of shoe stores, and then yeah, here we are.
We're gonna come into that, but something that you mentioned while you were answering that question, you said the word 95. And that sparked something in my mind and something I definitely wanted to ask you. Coming back to this sort of transatlantic hookup that we're doing right now, you get me? There are a number of ways that we refer to shoes over here in the UK,
Mm,
right? And I'm interested to see if, like, because some of them have crossed over, some of them are pretty
yeah.
universal, like sneakers, right? But we say things like
Mm.
trainers, right? We say trainers, we say crepes. Have you ever heard
So
crepes?
I only ever hear the word crepes when we're talking desserts or the shoe cleaning company. I don't know, like if there's like Crep
Oh yeah,
Protect,
crepe
yeah.
protect.
Which I guess
Yeah,
makes
yeah,
sense
yeah.
now when I
That's
think of
what's
like
up.
Crep Protect.
Makes
Like
sense.
I always thought like, what is Crep?
Yeah,
It's a word for sneakers. That's crazy. I really didn't know
it's
that.
a
Yeah,
word for sneakers. It's actually nuts because I don't even know where that
yeah.
comes from. It's probably connected to like French or
Somewhere,
something or
yeah.
whatever, but I
No,
have
that's
no
really
idea.
interesting. I
Right?
didn't know that.
That there's another one that we refer to shoes over here. We call them bugs.
Oh yeah, no,
Have you ever heard
nah, I don't
bugs?
know about that one. Yeah, I don't know about that one.
If you had to give that one like a rating out of 10, what you giving bugs?
Bugs, that's low. I don't think that's one I personally would ever use. Yeah. If someone said that to me, I'll be like, uh,
Is it sound too close to boogers?
yeah. Yeah, I don't know. That would be another interesting one. I'm sure that we have like different random words and things like that we call stuff. I can't nothing that I can think of that's like always like sneakers,
Mm,
kicks, those sorts of words. But
mm.
I don't think there's really. You said trainers. I really only use the word trainers when I'm talking about like specific like the like
A specific
Nike
type
like
of
the
shoe,
Nike
yeah.
trainer, like the Bo
Mm.
Jackson trainers and those sorts of things. I've heard people use it as like, oh, I'm looking for some new trainers, and I'm like, I'll like take them to that section. Like, no, these. I'm like, oh, well, those are running shoes. So there's different like vernacular and vocabulary, but nah, boogs. I don't know. Oh,
Man said
boog.
boogs. Shout out to
That's
Luke,
funny.
bruv. Might be. It
That's
might
too funny.
be. No,
Bugs.
Books is pretty
Yeah,
hard, man. That's pretty hard. You get
yeah, that's a tough one.
Okay. Okay. So, you already mentioned it, man, but I just wanna touch on it just briefly. When you first got like your money and you had the opportunity to buy your first pair of shoes, sort of what kind of shoes were you gravitating to?
So before I had the money, I used to come home every single day, go right on the computer. I don't even know if it's something so we have something called Flight Club here. You probably have heard of Flight Club. Um,
Heard of Flat
it was
Club,
sort of like a
definitely. Heard
StockX
of Flat
before
Club.
StockX. It was sort of like they just did it at their store. They would, that you could bring them a shoe, say this is how much I want to sell it for, and then they would just sell it.
Mm,
And once they sold it, they would just give you the money. So like their online
Mm.
site had pretty much every shoe, in a like on a list basically, that you could see before. Again, before StockX had this like huge ability to do so. So every day I used to come home, I'd do my homework, which whatever lie said, I didn't have any, and then I would just go on StockX and go to every single tab and literally look at every shoe. I'll go Nike basketball, click
Mm.
KD, scroll through, and just look at every single shoe. Kobe, look at every number, same everything, literally all the shoes, and the shoes I always gravitated to were
Love that.
Dunks. They had the most color. They had the most variety. There were so many. They were affordable. It was like when I get money, like I can afford these shoes. Like the most expensive ones
That's
at that
another,
time,
yeah.
Dunks really weren't expensive, and I thought they were so cool. I was like, yeah, like you didn't really see people with them at that time. So Dunks was really
You were ahead of the
where I
game, bro.
wanted to kind of start getting into it. Really, Dunks was like the one thing that always like I remember like standing out to me. Like when I get money, like this is what I want. Like these are what I want to get.
You
Yeah.
were ahead of the curve, bro. You were ahead of the curve. And to be honest, there's a similarity between sort of the early KDs because they were a low
Yeah,
profile
I love
shoe
low
as
top
well, and
shoes.
obviously the
Yeah,
Dunk is a yeah, and the Dunk is a similar shoe. Like obviously the Dunk Low we're talking about, and obviously had a massive resurgence in the last
yeah,
sort of
oh
three
yeah,
years. In the UK, you can't walk around without seeing
yeah.
pandas
I
left,
couldn't
right,
probably
and
walk through
center,
my
bro. That
neighborhood
is
without seeing a pair.
like
Yeah,
there's a panda outside everyone's
yeah,
yard right now, so it is what it is, man. But we respect the game
yeah.
for
I
what it
don't
is,
knock
man. But
it.
that's
Yeah,
absolutely amazing. Yeah, it is what it is, man. They brought back or they yeah, they put focus on an affordable shoe, and we realized it's an amazing silhouette. Also, a
yeah,
comfortable shoe without any sort of significant technology involved. Just a comfortable, wearable shoe that we wear. So I'm a massive fan. I got a few Dunks behind me.
yeah.
Good shoe. Very good shoe. Works no matter what size you are, no matter how tall you are. Like it's
Yep.
just good. It's just a
It's
good,
simple. It's yeah.
easy wearing
You can
shoe.
dress them up.
I
You can
like
dress
it.
them down. I tell people all the time. It's a
Come on, man.
and I don't understand the Panda Dunk hate. I get there was a moment
Come
when
on.
when they first kind of came out with them that a lot of people wanted them. There was a lot of hype around it, but I feel like it's one of those things now that it should be blatantly obvious, that these are not exclusive. Um, so like for the people who are like, oh, Panda Dunks are. I saw recently DJ Clark Kent on Complex Sneakers. He said if you wear Panda Dunks, that means you can't dress.
Come
But what are
on.
all white Air For? What are
It's
all
easy
white
to
Air
say that
Forces?
when you
It's
come
a
on,
white. It's a.
bro. Come on. This is
I literally was like, "What you
bro
mean?"
Clark Kent, man.
And that's why I just
Oh
don't
man,
like. I feel like it gets too much hate. It's one of those things that I feel like if like the sneaker blogs would just stop even talking about Panda Dunks, because just you're not talking about it every time they restock all white Air Forces, right? Nobody is. So why are we talking about it every
no,
time they restock? Just
no,
let them keep doing it. Who cares? Let the people get the pairs they want. If you don't want to wear them, don't wear them. No one is forcing you to wear them.
bro. We had a restock
That's
today.
great. That's
We had
perfect.
a restock
That's beautiful.
today.
There's one coming up. There's one coming up for us. I just saw on the Nike app. Great. Let the people who want to have them have them. Like it's a super easy shoe to wear. It takes little to no thought to put it on and go with your outfit. It's an all
Mm,
leather shoe. It's easy
mm,
to clean. It's easy to sustain. Like
mm, mm.
what I don't understand the hoopla, like the hate that it gets. I understand like there was a moment where it was exclusive, but they've since came out and said, "Yo, like that's not what this is."
It's
Yeah,
for
like
everyone.
we're dropping these over and
Yeah,
over.
just
Yeah,
just
like
get the shoe.
that's like walking off
Yeah,
the edge of a cliff and being mad. Yo, why is the cliff there? That's they let you. They're trying to tell you, like, yo, we're gonna keep dropping these, and every time they drop them, people want to be like, oh, everyone got the pandas. Yeah, I see more. I see just as many people with all white Air Forces, and no one says nothing to them.
that's a great point, bro. I think would you because in my mind an all white Air Force or Air Force in general
Sure,
is an all time
absolutely,
classic shoe,
absolutely.
right? Would you say that the Panda Dunk is going
Sure,
in that direction
sure,
to becoming a modern day
a hundred
classic?
percent.
I
When
think
you
so.
think of like hip hop back, 10 years ago, that's what you think of, white forces. In 10 years, when you think back
Mm,
on 2020, 2018 to 2020, whatever year, you're going to be like, yo, the Panda Dunks was
they
crazy.
had a
Whether we're
period.
still wearing them in that year or
Yeah,
not,
they went in.
people will look back and be like, yo, the Panda Dunk went nuts. I don't see a reason why we wouldn't be wearing them in 2027 unless they just stop making them. And I don't see that happening. So
Nah, that's not
it,
happening.
it, it
That's
I
not
do see a
happening.
situation where in 5 to 10 years we're looking back at where we are right now. Like, damn, the painted dunk was what the white Air Force was to probably me and you back when when we was coming up. That's what that's
I
it's just
respect it.
becoming a cultural staple.
Yeah, man. I respect it. I think when things start going beyond the culture, because I think obviously, well, I like to think that the sneaker culture, I think that's like the 5%, the 10% that drives the wider audience, the wider
Mm-hmm.
fashion audience, right? So we start wearing it, it becomes super popular within the culture, and then when it starts going beyond the culture, when I'm seeing grandmothers and mothers and
Yep.
aunties and uncles and grandfathers and people are I'm saying using it to garden and all of these
It's
random
just the
like just popping
shoe.
out to the shop.
Yeah.
That's my pop to the shop. Like when that's the shoe,
It's gone
then it's
way
gone
past the
beyond.
sneakerhead world. Absolutely.
Like it's gone
Yeah.
beyond, and that's where that shoe sits for
Oh yeah.
me. That's exactly where that shoe. Anytime I go pick up my daughter, that's what I'm
Yeah.
throwing on. You get me? Like I don't
Yeah.
have to
It
think
does. It
about what I'm
matches.
wearing. Like
Whatever it is, it
nah, I
matches, and
respect it.
let's just go about
Yeah,
it. Yeah.
whatever I'm wearing,
Exactly.
that's going with.
It'll.
This line of question I call the EST of KIC, and when I say EST, I mean the oldest, the newest, the rarest, the cheapest, the
Mhm.
best. You get me? Like so, you can take this as you can answer as long or as short as you want. Absolutely up to you. But in your like around you or in your collection, what is the oldest pair of shoes you have currently?
It would probably be these dunks right here. I'm pretty sure.
Come on now,
Oh, I got a pair of Dunk Estos, which are from '06. I think this is probably right around the same year. Um, yeah.
Dunk Estos. I think I saw
It's like a
they're
half. Yeah,
Prestos,
it's like a
right?
Presto and a Dunk. Yep.
A
Yeah.
Dunk
They're like
Presto.
super, super, super
People,
light, like a
people.
Presto. Crazy. Yeah, they were gifted
Oh
to me
my
actually.
days.
Super dope. Such a good shoe. Recently, the bottom started to fall off. I got to get it re-glued, but those would probably be my oldest. I think both of those probably like 2006, 2007.
Nah, the respect
Yeah.
all the way on the Dunk Esto and and that other shoe. What's the
I
what
think
is that
it's
colorway
called
in
like
the other shoe?
chocolate hazelnut or something like that. Yeah.
Haha,
Because it's like
that
two it's
Nutella,
like two
bro.
tones of brown, yeah, with like the blue sock liner, yeah.
Nah, I like that. I like that. I like that. Okay, bro. What's the newest shoe? I can see. I can. You've got some
So the
heat.
the newest
What's
would
the
probably
newest shoe
be
you got
the
behind you? What?
A Mama Year Jordan 4 with the good cream
Yeah,
lace swab.
buddy. Yeah, buddy.
Yeah.
I caught a little glimpse when you were fixing your camera.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, this guy's
That
got
would
that
be
hot force
that's
still.
definitely the
Yeah.
newest. Um yeah, that's definitely the most recent pickup. I hit
How
on
did you cut?
sneakers, believe it or not. Yeah. My first sneakers pickup
Oh
of
my
the whole
days, you're
year.
the
I
man.
did not even I don't even know if I entered a raffle. Yeah.
Are
Working
you
in a shoe store, I
serious?
don't really like need to utilize sneakers too
I get
much.
you.
Just for like the collaborations and stuff like that, if I ever want. But yeah, that was my first sneakers win of the whole year. I can't complain. No complaints. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna get a win,
Yeah, no
yeah, that's a
complaints.
solid win. I feel like I'm shadow banned on sneakers, just putting it out there. I do not get any love on that app, and that's absolutely fine because it
Yeah,
makes the
that's what I
wins
mean.
even
It's like
more sweet.
I didn't win all year, and I just shot. Cool. I hit. I was like, oh, sweet.
In your collection, the most expensivest.
They're sort of hidden. Let's see if I can get them out without messing up anything here. Uh, Sitting too close. Be my lot 50. Yeah.
Oh, lot 50s.
Um, Definitely my
Rest in
most
peace, Virgil,
yeah, I would definitely
man.
say
He
these
did
are the
his
most
thing.
expensive. Um, and you're gonna be
He did his thing.
blown away when I tell you how I got those sneakers app
Come and talk to me.
on
Are
everything.
you
The
serious?
crazy early access.
EA,
I paid. I
they
paid
gave you
for
a
them,
50.
and I was like, I'm because when you get the confirmation email, you could read the thing, and I was like, I'm not
You
gonna
didn't
read it.
know.
I was like, I'm not gonna
Oh,
read it.
oh my, like,
Yeah,
you
no,
didn't do the
I
gender
was like, I'm
reveal.
gonna wait till it gets here. I was like, I'm gonna wait
I
till
want
it
to be
gets here, and
surprised.
then I'm gonna open it. Crazy story. So, but my friend was
Oh,
like, "Yo, this
bro.
is the pair I got." Like, He's like, I got lot, whatever. He's like, what pair did you get? I was like, I decided I'm gonna wait. Like, I don't wanna I don't wanna look. He was like, well, send me
Love
because I
this.
want to know what you got. I was like, bet. I sent it to him. He immediately responds, bro, you got lot 50. And I was really like what? It was like a double surprise. I was like, one, like, thanks. Two, I was like, damn, I wanted to be surprised. Like, that would have been so crazy to like open the box.
Spoiler
If I would have
alert,
opened the
bruv.
box and seen it though, oh man, I would have lost my mind. I still was like, no way, bro. Like, no way, no
Bruv.
way. I looked it up on StockX. Like, I typed the code in and I was like, no way, dude. What the hell? Like, insane. Yeah.
Got
And then when I
50,
got it,
bro.
the
Now you
the
smashed.
the tag says lot 20 something on it. So I got the wrong tag, but I don't care. The shoe's the right one. So yeah, crazy. Yeah,
Bruv, no,
crazy.
you definitely got the right one. You got the right one. Those
They
and
were
the
both super
ones for
dope.
me were
Yeah.
crazy. I ended up getting, yeah, I can't even complain because I did end up getting EA on that. I got lot 22, which I wasn't a
Mm.
fan of, so I ended up moving them on. But yeah, like the whole sort of the 50. I was a little skeptical before it dropped, but the way it dropped, I actually felt a lot
I
of
lo-
people
I
caught dubs on
loved it.
that.
I thought it
A
was
lot of
so
people
great for
got
what it
like,
was. So many
yeah,
people
I
were
think
like,
it was
"Yo, dog,
really
you
good.
gotta sell that." I'm like, one, I hit for retail, so I'll never be mad about a retail W. Two, I was like, what this shoe and this moment is for sneakers is so much more to me personally, being someone who loves sneakers, been doing this for a long time. This moment, the way that they released these shoes was the was a groundbreaking concept to me. We've never seen this concept where there's 50 of the same exact shoe with different colors and different samples and different mixtures of the same thing that's just randomly released
So
and
smart.
randomly assigned. You know, I was like, I don't think I can sell them. I don't think I can. I had people offer me trades. Like someone offered me some Travis Scott fragments, like the lows straight up. I was like, I think I'm good, man. The shoe is super easy
Wow.
to wear. First off, it's like just black and silver. So like I don't have like if it was like a
Yeah.
wonky color, it might have been a little bit easier to come off. But black and silver, I hit for retail. This shoe is an absolute moment in sneaker culture. And then, like you said, rest in peace, Virgil. So it's like,
Yes.
you know what? These shoes I'll never get rid of them. I wear them all the time. I love to. I'm a big wear your shoes guy.
Respect.
People always like, yo, I can't believe you're wearing those. Like, bro, I'll crease these right here in front of you. Like, don't like, yeah, wear them, please.
I wear
If
my
you're
shoes,
like, just
bro.
please
I wear
wear
my
your shoes.
shoes.
I literally got on a kid. I got onto
100%.
this kid yesterday. He was like
100%.
waddling in my store, and I was like, "Hey man, let me." I was like, "Bro, let me." I was like, "Bro, you're gonna mess up your shoes even more doing this weird walk. Like you're putting weird stress in weird places of the shoes. Like the shoes are meant to be worn. Like just walk normal, dog. Like you're gonna hurt yourself. Like impeding the way you're walking to try to not crease the shoes are like $100. Like." I understand like that's a lot of money to some people, but like
Wow.
you're
No,
you're
yeah,
doing
I get
more
you.
damage trying to not do damage. You know what
To
I'm
your
like?
body.
Like dog, just wear them. I'm like you're
100%.
he was wearing some Dunk
100%.
Highs. I was like, bro, they look so good creased. The pair I happen to be wearing is an old pair of like my Iowa Dunk Highs. I wear them all the time. They're super creased up. I was like, look how good these look
Mm,
creased up. Like they look worn. It's age. It shows that you do stuff, bro. Like I can't stand seeing someone in a pair of DS
mm,
shoes. I don't know why it just frustrates me. Like a pair like brand new, unless the shoe is brand new. Obviously, there's not that much you can do about it. But if you got a shoe from like a year
mm.
ago and it just looks like you've never worn them, it's like, what are we doing? Like every single shoe in my
Oh, man.
closet, every single
Yeah,
shoe
no, I
hasn't
hear
been
you,
worn. My
bro.
Travis 4s, every single my Fear 4s,
Mm.
they're old as can be. I wear them all the time. Like wear your shoes, please, please, please,
I
please.
mean, now that you've mentioned it, I think it's a good thing for us to touch on, like sneaker icks, things that people do with their kicks that really sort of get on your back. Um, like you mentioned people not wearing the shoes. You mentioned people walking funny. Like, is there anything else? Are there any silhouettes that you look at and like? "Oh, I hate when I see that
So the
shoe."
so the
Like,
first thing
is
that
that
comes to mind
talk to
automatic
me,
is
bro?
literally just probably a week ago. A kid came up to me at the register. I was working on something. I had a pair of scissors in my hand, and he was asking me a question, and I had looked down at his shoe and saw he had the stock X tag still hanging from his shoe, and I literally turned the scissors around, and I said, "Here you go, bro." He was like, "What's this?" I was like, cut that tag off your shoes, man. He was like, nah, I'm good. He's like, I'm good.
You're not
I
leaving
was
here.
like, nah,
No, no, no.
like,
You're not leaving
like
here.
cut that off. Like, what do you think? Like, what do, yeah,
Pablo,
like,
go lock
drop
the
the
door.
game. Like, I don't understand the idea behind that. It's not a hang tag.
Bro.
You know,
Especially now.
Nike did not put that, like, it, in my opinion, it doesn't validate if the shoe is even real or not.
StockX is questionable. StockX is questionable. It's a little bit warm.
Because now reps come with a StockX, so it's not doing anything for you. It just looks funny. Please stop doing it. That's a big one for me. The StockX tag on the shoe is a huge one. I'm trying to think of some. I've seen some reps of colorways that are not real. That's a big one. I've seen some Aqua Jordan 11s. We're not doing that.
Oh wow.
We're not doing. If you want to wear reps, it's your money. Yeah.
What are they representing?
Like, do that.
What is
it's not my money. It's not my place. Do what you do, but pick a color that's real. That's all I'm gonna say. You can't. I saw a pair of blue patent leather Jordan 1 highs. Those are not real. You know what I mean? Like,
yes. Blue.
That's one thing I'm like, dang, man. Like, I got some pictures in my phone of some, like,
what? I wonder what the name would be. Like, I wonder what name was next to that shoe.
Yeah,
then they were like, that's the one. That's the one.
Like, I've seen some, like, some crazy footwear. I'm just like, man. In terms of, like, silhouettes, though, there's not really any silhouettes that I'm like, that I don't, you know. I'm not personally a huge fan of 11s. I think they get a lot of love, which is go crazy.
Yeah,
They're not really personally for me. An unpopular opinion is I would prefer a Jordan 11 IE. I would wear a IE before I wore a regular Jordan 11. Yeah, a lot of people make that face when I say that, but for me, it's the patent leather that throws me. I heard someone say, I think they're so cool. I think they're so cool. I don't own pairs of them, but I think they're dope. I wouldn't pay $200 for them, but if I ever found a pair at like an outlet store or got a deal on one, I'd buy it. I'd wear it. Yeah, absolutely. Like I saw a guy the other day was like, "Yo, I'm gonna get the 11s, the Cherry 11s," and he was like, they're a half size small, but I'm gonna break them in." And I was like, "Break them in, bro? You can't break an 11 in, bro. Like, that's it. How it is just how it is." Like, once it's broken it's gotta go on the shelf. It's done. Like, it's done. Yeah.
That's gone.
Like, what you mean? You can't break. Like, it's not a Jordan 1. A Jordan 1 or a Dunk, like, if it's a little tight, you could just wear the hell out of it. The leather will sort of stretch a little bit, and you'll be good to go. But a Jordan 11 is not giving at all. And once it does, it's because the shoe is done for. Like, the bottom will for sure be yellow. The patent leather will be cracking and crumbling. There's no such thing as breaking an 11. So if that's on your agenda, once you get your cherries, size swap, because you're not breaking no 11s in. You're not breaking them in. Don't even try. Your feet will
I
not.
love it. I love it.
Thank you later if you just don't even do not try to do that. Do not do that.
I respect it, bro. Before we come off of this one, I just want to understand from your perspective, what is your most comfortable shoe?
I gotta give it to Joe Fresh, the 9060. The 9060.
Come on,
a great shoe.
Come on.
This shoe was actually gifted to me as well. Big shout out to Release in Daytona for that. So comfortable though. Like,
respect.
So comfortable to the point where now I'm buying GR pairs. Like, I got the first pair. It was a release. I
saw somebody with a sweet GR
I was cool with that. But that's comfortable to the point where I wear that the whole day and I'm chilling. I'm good. I work on my feet. I work in a shoe store. You know, I'm on my feet a lot. 10-hour days. I throw those on and I'm that's a beautiful shoe. The 9060. If you're looking for something that's comfortable, go crazy because those are so good. That's definitely my most comfortable shoe. But I will say this: the first I wore my 9060s. Of all the shoes I have, I've showed you the Lot 50s. I got the Fears. I got a lot of shoes. I have never received more compliments about any shoe I've ever worn than when I wore those 9060s for one day. To say double-digit people would be
Really?
a underestimation. Everybody, whether it was like those shoes are so like, whether it be like
I
girls be like,
respect
oh
it.
my god, those shoes are so cute, or like guys like, yo, those are like, it was like, those are dope, those are cute. What are those? I want the like. It's so dope. New Balance is having a super dope moment right now with the 9060. It's a brand new silhouette, so it's nice to see like that they kind of debuted it with with the
Mm.
collaboration with Joe Freshgoods, and then they've sort of let things kind of keep going naturally with just good GRs. And then Bodega did a pretty good collaboration on it, that like blue and brown pair. I think they're doing some
Bodega did
justice to
yeah,
it.
decent man.
There's a couple other collaborators that did some other pairs too. It's a dope shoe. It's a comfortable shoe. I hope that they keep running with it throughout next year, because I would definitely be getting more pairs of them. And I also want the New Balance 990 V6. That's another pair that
You know,
I want very, very bad. It just came
990
out this
V6.
year, the
I'm gonna look
sixth
into that.
iteration. Yeah.
I'm gonna look into that. Do you know, we're talking about New Balance, and I think now's a good time for us to sort of touch on sort of the sneaker culture and what's going on in the industry, because, and I bring this to New Balance, but I'm kind of gonna go a long way around, because obviously Kanye, Adidas, that sort of
Yeah.
left a kind of a void in the
Yeah.
culture and in the industry. It's wider than the culture at this point, because obviously there's massive amounts of money that was on the table and now is no longer there. Adidas are suffering as a business. Kanye is no longer a billionaire. Get me
Yeah.
cancelled, half cancelled, full cancelled, all of that jazz. Quickly, just on Kanye, what are your thoughts on that situation?
Yeah.
Talk to me.
That is a real tough situation. Unfortunately,
Mm,
I don't. Yeah, it's a real tough situation. It definitely did leave a really weird space for shoes right now. Um,
mm,
I would go as far to say that
mm.
I don't think in that moment that Adidas was the number two brand in sneakers. I would say prior to that, this whole situation, I will say that they were already surpassed by New Balance. Um, I really sort of feel like the Yeezy line sort of had hit its peak long ago. Yeezys were sort of sitting. Um, Not that that's a bad thing, because I think that was something that Kanye had clearly
Mm,
spoken about.
mm.
Is he wanted everyone to have a pair. He wanted it to be a
Yeah,
mass
he wanted
marketed
it.
thing, which
Yeah,
I
he
don't think
wanted
there's
that. He
anything wrong
wanted
with
that.
that. But I think that it was already sort
Mm.
of coming this point where Adidas was like, what do we do with this Yeezy brand? It's sort of hit a wall. Um, I don't know what went all on behind the scenes. I obviously, a lot of stuff was said publicly, and a lot of stuff was apparently said and done behind the doors. But it almost felt like one of those times where Adidas realized like, it maybe time to go another direction. Um, the way that sneakers
Mm.
trends are starting to sort of go, at least over here. Um, the Samba is kind of having a moment. Um, the like some of those like
Okay.
gazelles and other, just like
Love the
some more
gazelle.
simple, like sort of Adidas
Mm.
styles. They're sort of starting to have a little bit of a
Mm.
moment here. Sean Witherspoon is starting to do some kind of cool stuff. Um,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I can't really speak too much on, what Kanye said and did and everything that led to him being released. I feel like that was sort of one of the things that it was kind of, we just had to happen. But for where what that leaves for sneakers now,
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
don't know. They came out, I think, just yesterday and said this is like they unveiled the first Adidas 350 that they're going to be releasing without the Yeezy moniker, which I think that's an interesting concept to me. We'll see how that does for them.
What are your
It's
thoughts
a
on the shoe?
I never personally really cared for the 350. Not really my style. I'm a bigger
Mm.
guy. I wear a lot of like bulkier shoes. I wear a lot of like cargo pants, like wide leg pants, and it just sort of doesn't look right aesthetically. So I didn't
Mm-hmm.
really
Mm-hmm.
ever get into the 350 V2 stuff or anything like that. But for people who are into it, I mean, I'm sure I would assume it would sell. In terms of like the legalities of everything, if they own the rights to the designs like they say they do, then I don't think that there's really anything wrong with them trying to go forward, especially if you think as a company they're trying to make money. They got to figure out how to make money, how to come out the back end of this with some sort of structure still. They got to try to, they want to try to spin it into some sort of positive for them. So for them to continue dropping whatever they legally own, I think is obvious. It was one of those things that from the beginning when they we own these designs, I told some of my coworkers they're gonna keep dropping his stuff just without the Yeezy name. They'd be fool. It is interesting. It is really interesting.
Crazy to me.
But it's I mean,
I get it.
It's very different because I don't obviously know the real behind the scenes. But it's if someone like a Tinker Hatfield was to leave Nike, do they have to stop dropping Air Max 1s because he designed this? It's a very different conversation, but it's one of those things unfortunately, Kanye went to Adidas and said, here are our designs, and they released the designs together. So again, I don't know how all that stuff works legally, but if they say they own the designs and they want to keep dropping them, then that's on them. Now, how they'll actually be perceived and taken within the sneaker community, that we will see next year when they finally drop them and people actually get a chance to show whether or not they're on board with it. It'll be definitely very interesting to see what they're gonna keep doing. Obviously, Yeezy was the main thing that Adidas had. Like I said, there is sort of this other little moment going on for Adidas too, so maybe they can capitalize on that and try to make something happen. I'm not a huge Adidas fan, so I'm just doing my best to sort of spin it into something good for them. But yeah,
no, I appreciate your sort of your position on it. I think obviously there's an opinion to be had and an observation to be made in terms of the sneaker culture. So in terms of hype, in terms of silhouettes that sort of drive the culture, they're going to struggle because they don't have anything that really, right? But in terms of being a sportswear retailer and being able to produce good shoes, they've got an opportunity. If they've still got the IP, they can put stuff out. My issue, just purely from a visceral level, is can I buy a 350 that is disassociated from the designer?
Right?
It's a massive question. A lot of people outside of the industry are not going to know that and are not going to care. A lot of people outside of the sneaker culture are not going to care about that. But for me, and I'm with you in terms of I can't really get into what the man said. I don't want anybody to lose anything. So just I'm praying for everybody to get everyone to get their mind right and everyone to get back together and it to be great once again. But I understand obviously business is business, but in the same sense, obviously it's the same as if Tinker Hatfield left, in my opinion. Or if you flip this whole thing round and it was Michael Jordan that made the statements, Nike are definitely putting out Jordan 1s.
No doubt.
They're still coming out with Jordan 1s. So it's you have to be real. You have to understand and respect the fact that this is business. And maybe these are first world issues that we're really talking about in terms of the heart, in terms of the designer and all of that jazz. But it's real in my mind. But I appreciate what you said in terms of the landscape prior to this situation happening. New Balance had made a really strong move in the last couple of years, 550s, sort of in that sort of low profile basketball shoe, that's super wearable. And was really, really out there. The 2002 protection pack, crazy, 990s, just Salehi Bembury, Joe Freshgoods, Bodega.
Just the stuff that
Jay Jound as well.
Doing, just the GR Made in USA stuff is incredible.
The Teddy Santis is they smashed it so many times, and then the narrative is
That's it.
well made,
Yeah.
comfortable, well made, comfortable, especially in a world where QC from
All
Nike
time. Yeah.
especially
They're
is at
trying
its
too
all
hard to
time
push stuff
lowest.
out. Yeah.
People are looking for, this is it. They're just, so they're using every quote unquote
Yeah.
factory they can find, and the quality is suffering, and it's being clearly mentioned throughout the whole of the industry. People are crying out for well-made shoes, and New Balance saw an opportunity. So I appreciate where you're coming from in that. The story, and I think the other thing that's good about New Balance is they're introducing new colorways,
Yeah.
not
No,
new colorways, new
absolutely.
colorways, yes, but new silhouettes. They're introducing new silhouettes. They're not resting
Which
on
was
their
a new
laurels. They went
silhouette at the
super hard on
time.
the
That was them
550.
debuting a
Maybe,
silhouette, and it had a moment.
yeah,
So they did
yeah,
the right
and I
thing, and
respect it. I
they kind
respect
of
it.
spun with it. And I think it's something that
I respect
the
it.
hype of the 550 is gone, but it had enough of a moment to where it built a core group
Hmm.
of 550 wearers like myself,
Yeah,
that have
yeah,
550s, and I will still buy 550s, and I love
one,
now that I
yeah,
can walk
100.
into a Foot Locker
Yeah,
or a Jimmy Jazz or a Snipes or whatever, JD Sports or wherever, and there's probably going to be a pair of 550s there. I personally love that. That's what I think they wanted from the 550. Um,
mm,
I think that, yeah, the 550 was such a great shoe. I think it was like just perfectly timed. There's sort of like a weird opening within the space, like the Dunk in the vintage era. They came out with the perfect combination of like an old shoe that looked new. Um, yeah, the 550 was beautiful. I love the 650, the high top version. I think they're great. Um,
mm,
yeah, New Balance, like you said,
hmm, hmm.
well made, and they really put emphasis on that, and they just have been making great shoes for a minute now.
Is is there an
Oh
opportunity for
yeah,
anyone else?
I
Is there an opportunity for anyone else? Could you see a Reebok, a Puma? Um,
yeah,
I've seen more
those
stuff from
two
Reebok. That's why it's
names
come
would
from.
be
It's come to
interesting.
mind. But a Puma,
I do
like,
see, I do feel like New Balance sort of in the last couple years they sort of wedged themselves into the sneaker space that was very much like the Jordan 1, Jordan 4
they're
casual
strong.
wear, and they're like, whoa, what about these comfortable shoes? What about these,
Mm,
the when Salehi did like the yurt and all these like random shoes, like, but what about these? And they
mm,
started to pick up some traction for the running shoe, for the casual wear shoe, which then allowed brands like you said,
mm.
like the Reeboks and the Pumas, a brand like Solomon that came from, I don't know if Solomon was really having that. They're again
Solomon,
having a
S
big moment
Labs,
here.
they're
Asics is
doing their
having a
thing.
moment, and it's
They're doing
all.
their thing.
I really feel like it's because New Balance sort of
Shout
got
out
that wheel
Asics.
going and was like, guys, it's cool to wear running shoes. Look, and then the other running brands were like, yeah, look, and then it's like, oh, but those and those and those. And it's also sort of one of the, like, we're in this time now where it's not so much of a copy and paste world. Like when you think of like a hype beast. 3 or 4 years ago, when someone says, "What's a hype beast?"
Mm,
pretty much every single person would probably explain the exact same person with some Yeezy 350s, some joggers, a Supreme shirt. Yeah, like
mm.
that was a hype beast to everyone.
Box
But
logo,
now
100. Yeah,
there's just so much, and it's
mm.
a wear what you want world now, where it's
It's
not
wide.
so you have you have people lining up, and you have Solomon selling out just as fast as Jordan ones and Jound Asics and Jound New Balances and all these different random collaborations of,
Mm,
but they're runners. So your sneaker based people, like the people who are lining up for Jordan ones, are not the same people lining up for these Asics and these New Balances. But there may be some crossover. There may be two or three people who know about both, but the target audience is different. But yet they're all still
mhm.
sneaker people. So
Before we start sort of winging our way to the end, can you give me your top
mm,
three
that's crazy because I
for
was literally thinking about
2022?
this today. I was like, I haven't made my list yet, so I don't have nothing. Um, yeah.
I have not seen it, so this is a
Geez,
little bit of
off
an
the dome.
exclusive.
All right, here we go.
You know you're good
No
at lists, bro.
particular
That's
order.
like
No
your main
particular
thing.
order here. Please excuse me if I forget something, because there's a good chance I'm gonna forget. But just
Okay, I'll
going
let
off the
you off.
top, I've talked to some people. Um, so I have some things that are like kind of fresh in my head. Um, Probably my number
Mm.
one. Let me get the lighting in here. The Mason Chateau Rogue Jordan 2. It's this shoe I could talk
Really?
about for hours. I think it is incredible. I think the detail behind it is incredible. It made me fall in love with the Jordan 2. The Jordan 2 is probably taken over as my favorite Jordan silhouette. Um, Incredible shoe. Such a good shoe. That is probably my number one. Um, and then to go from there, that's when it gets interesting. I think the Lost and Found Chicago Jordan 1. This is right
It's
here
a
above my
very
head as
interesting
well.
number one.
It deserves to be in the conversation. I have a hard time saying
Solid.
that a retro
Yeah.
of a shoe is the best shoe from this year. Because we've seen the shoe
I
a
got
number of
you.
times. They executed it
I
very
got
well.
you.
The
I got you. I
storytelling and
got
the
you.
whole way they did it. Shout out to them. It's a good shoe.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'm trying to think. Like, dang, what else? Let's see. What else this year? I think the 99, what was that? The 993, the Joe Freshgood 993 pack. There was like a pink, green, and blue. I think those were great. Um, there's a
Okay.
Jordan 2 Titan. The brand is Titan 22, Jordan 2 Low. It's like a white, it's got like a green corduroy around the toe. That's a beautiful shoe. It's a woman's only release.
Okay, I don't know. Okay.
It's a low. Yeah, that's a great shoe.
That's a low, right?
Jeez, yeah. I'm
I'll look
definitely
into that.
missing some stuff. I think what the Louis Vuitton Air Force One was for the culture, like for what it meant, I think that was
Ooh,
incredible.
bro,
Yeah.
I'm so
I
happy you
think
said
that was
that.
so
I just saw the black pair yesterday
so
in hand
special,
for the
so
first
like
time.
just another moment.
Oh,
Yeah.
that was like that was to me. That was like that was like I don't know if swan song
Yeah.
is the
He was like,
right
yeah.
term, but it's almost like a parting gift. It was almost
Yeah.
like it was like, bro, like that kind of like, bro, like like in Fast and Furious
Off the other way, yeah.
where
Yeah.
Paul Walker's character
No,
just
I
drives
definitely get
off,
that.
like bro, like I saw the black pair yesterday, and my
Yeah.
mind was blown because I was like, the white pair looks crazy. Like a lot of the colorways were nuts, but that black pair, the
Yeah.
suede, bro, the emboss, like like everything on the shoe,
Yeah.
it was just so premium. It was 100% Louis, 100% Virgil, and 100%
They're
Nike.
so
It
good.
was just
Yeah.
everything, and it was that's a fantastic shoe. Shout out to that shoe because I think
Yeah.
because they were so exclusive, so expensive, obviously,
And a lot of
as
people have,
well.
yeah,
I think they're
not
not
put
going to
them
be
on
on
the
a lot
list
of
because
people's
of
lists,
that.
which is fair enough. But yeah, but from a design perspective,
Yeah.
and just from a sort of the ostentatiousness, and then it being Virgil once again, I just love the shoe. It was an amazing ode to the Air Force One. So I'm gonna ask you a weird question. You're cast away on a
Mm,
desert island. You got two pairs of shoes with you.
on the desert
What shoes you got
island.
and why? Desert Island
Oh,
kicks.
so yeah, no, I'm deep in the bag right now. Yeah.
You gotta think, bro. You gotta think. There's a
So
lot
I
of
think I'm going
elements.
with the yurt off the muscle. I got the whistle. I got the whistle on the
I hear
back if I
that.
need it.
That's a solid start. That
Good
is a
hiking
solid
shoe.
start.
I'm walking around.
Hundred
Good
percent.
quality. We got the leather toe box if I need to, you know what I'm saying, kick through something or whatever. So I think, yeah, something like that. And then,
Bust open a
so that
coconut.
I'm going with the yurt. And then I might go with, damn, like a, like a, like a Merrill Hydro Mock, something like that. Some sort of land, water, Gore-Tex, you know what I mean? Some sort of waterproof Gore-Tex
Ah.
kind of moment. That's tough. Yeah, I'm not the kind of guy. I don't think I'm pulling up with some Jordan ones if I'm on a deserted island. Those not gonna do nothing for me. So I'm thinking, where's comfortability, use. I got a whistle. Like if I see somebody mad deep, that whistle's loud as hell. I don't know if you've ever heard it. That whistle is loud, yo.
100%. You can blow that whistle,
Couple,
bro.
a little hydro mount, something
Oh
waterproof.
my
So if I
days,
need
man.
to
You
hop
can
in the
blow that
water or whatever,
whistle.
I can
Holler
do
at that
that.
whistle, man.
Yeah, just gotta make sure we're good. Yeah.
All right, we're gonna do some quick fires, bro. Are you ready? One thing I'm just gonna ask from you, man. I just want it to be like from the
Oh yeah,
chest.
oh yeah.
No
I'm
dilly dallying. Do you
I'm right
understand what
here.
I mean when I
Yeah,
say dilly dally? That might be a
yeah.
UK thing. You get what I'm saying? You feel this energy. You're right there. All right, bro.
Heard. Oh
Now, when
no,
I
we're
say
good.
no dilly dally, that's only for you, not for me, because I don't read so good. So just hold
Heard.
tight. All right, bro. We're gonna start the quick fire in 3, 2, 1. Straight off the bat. Nike or Adidas.
Nike.
Can you wear Nike and Adidas together? Yes or
No.
no? What is your Jordan number?
2.
YouTube, Instagram, or TikTok?
I gotta say TikTok.
We love TikTok.
Yeah.
Vans or Converse?
Oof. Probably Vans.
Laces or slip-ons?
Slip-ons.
Default laces, or are you doing patterns with your laces?
Oh, just regular cross. No patterns.
Custom designs or factory settings?
Factory. I don't like customs.
Socks or barefoot?
Socks. Ugh. Yeah. No barefoot. Crazy.
Comfort or style?
Oh. Comfort.
Fresh and clean or beaten and battered?
I think I have to say beaten and battered, or I'd be contradicting what I said earlier.
I hear you, bro. Washing machine or hand wash?
Hand.
Respect. Lows, mids, or highs?
Highs.
Triple blacks or white on whites?
Triple black.
Everybody give him a round of applause. He's done it, man. Quick fire in record time, man. Quick fire in record time. That was light.
Yeah.
That was light. I got to think of some harder questions, bro. Okay, before I let you go, man, I want to know from you, and you like just be free, because you kind of alluded to it earlier, but I really want to get it as a contained piece. What does it actually mean in your mind to be a sneakerhead?
What does it mean to be a sneakerhead? That's it. It's one of those things where, for me, sneakers is community. So people might take this the wrong way, but resellers, there's a line between. I don't believe that resellers who strictly resell, who aren't into shoes themselves, are not in the sneakerhead community. You're in the market to sell shoes, which is cool. But the owner of Foot Locker is not a sneakerhead. Maybe he is, but just because you own the Foot Locker does not automatically mean that you're into sneakers. Make your money. Do what you got to do. But to be a sneakerhead is more than that. Like I said, like put the time in. Like to say you woke up at 9:45 and entered the sneakers raffle and lost and went back to sleep, bro, you're not into sneakers. Because I was already at the mall. I've been at the mall for 2 hours, and I was in the line, and I entered on sneakers just to be certain that I could get the pair that I needed. Not I woke up, I took an L, I'm gonna go pay for them on StockX. No, bro, there is a market for that. There is a community for that. I don't know what that community is. But I do believe that to say like, yo, I'm a sneakerhead, like you gotta put time in. You gotta track down pairs. You gotta trade. You gotta swap. You gotta be okay with grabbing this size 11 because you know that your homeboy gonna get you a 13 and you're gonna be able to swap it out. Like it's so much more than just waking up and entering a sneakers raffle and winning or losing. If you win, cool. If you lost, cool. But it's just to really be in the sneaker community. It's just so much more than that. Like I had someone come up to me one time. He was like, bro, how do I get in the circle? I looked at him. I was like, bro, what are you talking about? He's like, I'm just trying to get in the circle. Like what circle, bro? It's not a circle. Like you just gotta be there. Like I don't know. Like there's not it's the sneaker. Like you can't just walk up to someone and be like, yo, I want to be a sneakerhead. That's not how that works, unfortunately. Like you just got to put the work in. You got to chase. Like if you like a shoe, go get that shit. Whatever you got to do to get that shit, go get that shit. it's especially tough for me. Like it's not that easy for me to get my hands on New Balances. There's not a New Balance store around me. I haven't been able to find someone who could hook me up consistently with plugs. So I got to track my pairs down. So I have all my people who do have the ability to find pairs. They know, yo, look, this is the shoe I need. This is how much I'm willing to pay. XYZ. Let me know. So it's about going that little extra step to rather than just waking up, entering a raffle, and taking a loss, saying, okay, cool, whatever. You got all the Nike Dunks with all the Eric Emanuel shorts and a V-Lone shirt. That doesn't make you a sneakerhead, unfortunately. If you got only collaborations, you're not a sneakerhead. If your favorite shoe is a Jordan 1, but you only have Travis Scott's and Off-Whites, you're not a sneakerhead. If you don't got Nike running shoes, you're not a sneakerhead. Like if you don't have GRs, you're not a sneakerhead. Like that's just really how it is.
Shots.
You can't just be strictly Off-White, strictly Union and Dunks, and you're just.
Bro,
I don't want to hear that. Like, I just don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. For every pair of collaborative shoe I have, I got a pair of GRs that I picked up at the Nike outlet for $60 because I thought they were cool, and I probably wear them more than the shoes that are behind me on the shelf.
Come on,
it's just one of those like, yeah. I'm passionate about it. I love what I do. I talk to people all the time about it. And I see a lot of those people who like, yeah, bro, like I got all the sneakers. I got like 100 pair of Jordans, bro. Like, cool, man. Like me and you are still just not in the same community, dude. Like, it's just, I don't know. Maybe that's just me being, I'm not trying to be like a gatekeeper or anything like that, but that's just the way I think, man. Like it's just so much more that goes into it. Like I was saying, you can't just buy your way into the game, man. I'm not saying you gotta put all this time in and you gotta grind, like, but yeah, like if there's a shoe you want, like, there's no such thing as taking an L. In my opinion, there's no such thing in the sneakerhead community. There's no such thing as a brick. If they use the word bricks is strictly a reselling community word, and I'm not in the reselling community because before there was reselling, I've never heard that word brick because brick only refers to the price of a shoe. A brick to me is a purchasable shoe. That's it. If it's a brick to you, that means I could buy a shoe I want. That's a beautiful thing.
I gotta hold my hands up, bro. I appreciate that. That take is so strong because I've used the terminology myself, and I do appreciate where you're coming from because ultimately, shoes are shoes, my guy. Shoes are shoes. And the funny thing is, man, and we can use the Dunk as a perfect example, bro. Like 10, 15 years ago, those shoes were on sale. You could probably get two for. You know what I'm saying? You probably get two for one deals. Like there was a lot, and then it goes round, and then all of a sudden the hype train picks it up, and it becomes a thing again. And I'm saying, like, we just have to understand. You get me? I was talking to somebody. The cherry red 11s. They're not really a massively popular shoe in the UK right now. People can still pick them up at retail. But I was talking to a friend, and he was like, give it 5 years.
Oh, yeah.
That's going to be worth a lot. And it's one of them things where it's like, it's the same thing happened with the Black Cats, Jordan 4s. In the UK, like, I don't know if it was the same in America. Like, in the UK, they sat, bro. They sat, and now they're selling for a rack. Yeah. So it's like, it is what it is, bro. People need to just, if you see a shoe, if I'm a triple black guy and I see a Jordan 4 in triple black, what's stopping me from getting it? Is it just the fact that it's not hype?
Because it's just sitting on the shelf, so nobody wants it, so you don't.
Like, is that it? Is that it, bro? Like, I need to, and the thing is, I need to elevate my mindset in certain times. You get me? Because sometimes you're driven by the vernacular, that I'm saying so easy. It's so easy, but I appreciate you, bro. And in follow up to the question that I asked regarding sneakerheads, would you say that you're a sneakerhead?
There's a period of time where I was like, am I like really like a sneakerhead, or am I just like into shoes? Because I do believe that that's two different things. Yeah, I would say I'm a sneakerhead. I love shoes, but also I would say I'm not like these diehard like guys who I gotta get every single one. I gotta like I'm very selective with what I get. I only buy what I like. Because for me, shoes is a piece of an outfit. Shoes is the finishing piece to my outfit. I like to dress. I love clothes. I love fashion. I like to study design. So for me, shoes are just a piece of that. It became a huge piece of that, obviously, as you can see. Um, and it's something. It definitely did become something that I fell in love with. There's nothing quite like putting on like a new pair of shoes that you're just been hunting down or whatever it is. And you're just like, oh my god! I remember when I got my military blue fours. I got them used, 250, no box. I remember putting them on. And I was like, oh my god, bro! Like finally, like 2007 release, I believe. I picked them up in
Jeez.
2021. We're talking. That's how long I've been like, yo,
Yeah,
I
man.
love this
Yeah,
shoe, and I
yeah,
finally
yeah.
stumbled
Yeah,
upon it, and
bro.
I was
Like
just like,
14 years in the
oh man, like
14 years
he was
finally
like
got your
250, bro.
boy.
He's like, but I
Oh
don't got a
my
box.
days.
I was like, a box? I was like, I'm gonna wear them.
Oh
Like,
my
I have
days.
a couple boxes in my room. All the boxes are in storage, but like I wear my shoes, so I don't need a box. Like we're good
Yeah.
off the box. If I can say one thing to people, man, buy used shoes. Just buy used shoes. Save you some big
Massive,
coins.
massive. I'm a hundred
Yeah,
percent behind that. I'm definitely getting into that, bro. Because I'm the same size as
yeah,
you. I'm a size 13 US, size 12 UK, and some of them old silhouettes, they're just not. I can't hit. So I'm gonna have to go
yeah,
on
man.
eBay and holler back, man. I'm gonna definitely have
Especially
to
if your
do that,
intent is
bro.
to you,
But do you know
if your
what?
intent is to wear them, what is the purpose of buying them brand new?
Mm, yeah,
That doesn't. I
hundred
never
percent,
understood.
hundred
Like if it's
percent.
1,000 brand new, or they got the used pair for 400 or 500, that's a no brainer. You know what I mean? It's been worn once or twice.
It's
I'm
not
gonna
even
wear it
close, my
too.
guy.
Like, like why am I paying 1,000? Like, yeah, I got my Fear Fours. I
It's
paid
true.
$300. Or they're over here. I paid $300 used, beautiful. They're like 1,000 brand new. Why would I pay that? I want to wear them too. I got them. I cleaned them up a little bit. They look
I'm gonna wear
next
them.
to new, and we're good to go. It's an old shoe. I don't want it to look brand new.
And do you know the other deeper thing? It almost stops that whole thing of, oh, I don't want to unds them. I don't want to break the seal on the shoe, because if you buy the used shoe,
Just wear
it's
them.
already
They're
been
already
like,
worn. Yeah.
I'm saying it's been, so you can. It's so easy to just. So I'm on the
It doesn't.
same
Yeah. No.
vibe as you, bro. I'm on
That's
the same
actually
vibe
a
as you.
real valid point. It doesn't have like, damn. Is this the right time to bring them out for the first time? Like, they're worn. You get them, put them on, and go to the grocery
Now, you know
store.
what I'm saying?
Who
We're
cares?
good.
Yeah.
We're good. Just stand out in the
Gotta do what you
frozen
gotta
out.
do.
Just do
Yeah.
your thing.
Gotta do what you gotta do.
Luke, my guy, I feel like I could talk to you for hours and hours and hours, bro. Like, this has been
Absolute. Yeah. I
an
was gonna say a
absolute
pleasure
pleasure,
for
man.
sure.
Like honestly, just like, I'm telling you now, that a million people are gonna watch this, right? Actually, more than multi-millions, right? You're gonna want to let them know how they can get in contact with you. You're gonna want to let them know how they can link up with what you're doing. Just let the people know how they can support.
Sure. Yeah.
Might
Check
be
me out.
Luke.
Might be Luke on all socials: Instagram, TikTok. Don't really use Twitter. But yeah, just might be Luke on Instagram. Might be Luke on TikTok. Um, that's really it. Yeah. Hit me up. I try to be as responsive in everything that I can. You know what I'm saying? If you ever got any questions, I try to, respond to my DMs as much as I can. I got people hitting me up all the time asking about like, how does this fit? How does that fit? It's what I do. Sneakers is what I love.
Mm.
So I know I went to school to learn more. I got sneaker books sitting right there. I try everything I can to be as understanding and knowledgeable in the field that I work in, and I love to help people. So yeah, check me out, hit me up, and I would definitely love to chat again, man. It's definitely been a pleasure. I definitely appreciate you having me. Definitely
Without a
appreciate you
shadow
having
of
me.
a doubt, man. Without a shadow of a doubt. Also, shout out your store as well. Like, I mean, obviously we're in the UK, but if you're ever in sort of the Florida, Orlando
Sure,
area,
yeah.
where can people
So
potentially come to the store?
I work at the Snipes in the Daytona Mall. It just changed from Jimmy Jazz. Some people
Mm.
may be more familiar with the store Jimmy Jazz.
I've heard of Jimmy
You
Jazz.
probably were familiar with Snipes
Yeah.
over in America. We didn't have Snipes up until like last year. Um, like January 1st was when Snipes made their introduction to the US when they bought all the Jimmy Jazzes. Which was when I was introduced to Snipes as a brand and really learned a lot about the European
Okay.
side of how they're pretty rock solid over there. It was really something that was brand new to us. They came over and they've absolutely turned things around 180 degrees. Night and day changes from kind of where we were to where we are now. So actually, we just changed our sign over last night. So our grand opening is literally today. As the new Snipes location
Amazing.
in the Daytona Mall right there, right across from the Daytona 500 Speedway. pretty dope little spot right there in Daytona.
Shout out.
Um,
Yeah, that's a very
so
cool
yeah,
spot.
come check me out. People come say hi to me all the time. They're like, oh, like are you the kid? And it's like, yeah, man. Like I love talking to people who recognize me. Don't ever be too shy to come say what's up. I don't, I don't feel like I'm an intimidating person. I try to be, I try to chop it up with everybody who comes and says what's good. I always love seeing people who follow me and support me. I appreciate everyone who does. Yeah,
Bro. Yeah, if I'm ever
it's a must.
in Orlando, Florida, or
You
close
gotta hit
by,
the line. Yeah,
bro,
we'll
I'ma
link.
hit
Yeah,
you
no
up
doubt, no
without
doubt.
a shadow. I'ma hit you up. I'ma hit you up, man. Yeah, it's been an
Absolutely.
absolute pleasure, my guy. It's been an absolute pleasure. Might be Luke, Mr. Luke Fischer. This has been your Kicks Chronicles. Once again, it's
Thank
been
you for
an
having me.
absolute pleasure. I'm so happy I managed to get you on this. And when he says he's responsive, he's no joke. He's one of the first people to respond to my call out. And we don't have any
Yeah,
prior connections. Like, this is just me watching his videos, appreciating his content, and just saying, bro, I'd love to have a chat with you. And he was like, bro,
let's do it.
send me the
Yeah,
thing and let's hook it up. And like,
of course.
I
No,
really
it was a
appreciate you,
pleasure.
my
Yeah.
bro. You must, like, please understand. Okay, people, you already know what to do. Make sure to go support Luke on all his platforms. Obviously, you can support us as well. And yeah, until I see you, man, down the road, PROZECH, your boy, Kicks Chronicles.
Peace.
Stay blessed. Peace.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Kicks Chronicles. Please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share, rate, review, and all that good stuff. And remember, full video version is available on YouTube, audio versions available on Spotify and Apple Podcasts.